Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Ron. I recently picked up the GoPro 10 Black. Now I've only had it for a few days, so I'm going to give you my initial impressions in this video. First, I've had several iterations of the GoPro over the years, and the quality does keep getting better and better, especially with the newest GP2 processor. We're definitely seeing better performance and frame rates now that the GoPro is utilizing the new processor. And before we get too far into this video, don't forget to like, subscribe if you get any value out of this video. It's very much appreciated. And stay until the end because I did crash my FPV while testing the GoPro 10, and I'll let you know how the GoPro did and if it sustained any damage. First, if you already own the GoPro 9 like I do, you'll appreciate that all the lens covers, ND filters, and most mods still fit the new GoPro 10. So thanks GoPro for saving us some money here if you've upgraded from the 9 to the 10. First, out of the gate, I was curious about the weight and the size of the newer GoPro because if you know me and watch this channel, I'm mainly using the GoPro for FPV footage, and the weight and the size is important when flying quads. The GoPro 10 dimensions are exactly the same as the GoPro 9. A quick side-by-side comparison shows you that as well. Also, the GoPro 10 is slightly lighter than the GoPro 9, coming in at 153 grams, while the older GoPro 9 comes in at about 158 grams, at least according to GoPro, but my scale says 160 grams. And for context, the 5 to 7 gram difference would be approximately the weight of a sheet of paper, so not a huge difference, but still an improvement. Now, one of the first things I actually noticed about the GoPro 10 was the battery door cover. It's slightly different than the door cover on the GoPro 9. I'm finding the door on the GoPro 10 comes off a little easier, and I'm not sure if I actually like that, in part because I'm afraid the door cover is going to get lost. It doesn't stay locked in place like it did on the 9. The door cover on the 9 just seems to lock in place easier and just feels more secure and better constructed, at least in my opinion. If you have the 10 already, let me know in the comments if the door cover feels secure to you or not. Maybe it's just the one that I received. Now, the day I shot these videos, I tested out 5K at 60 frames per second and 4K at 120 frames per second. To be clear, I did not turn on Hypersmooth 4.0 stabilization because I'm using Real Steady to stabilize my FPV footage. Now, in my testing, Real Steady seems to outperform Hypersmooth 4.0, so I'm going to continue using Real Steady as my primary stabilization software. And to be honest, I was kind of hoping that the Hypersmooth 4.0 would replace Real Steady, but it's just not there yet. That being said, if you want the most stable and cinematic looking footage, you'll want to use Real Steady at least for your FPV footage. And on a side note, an updated version of Real Steady Go version 1022 was released on September 17th, 2021, just the other week. That's the version I used to stabilize the footage in this specific video. As you may know, one of the biggest advantages the GoPro 10 has over the GoPro 9 is the higher frame rates. And you can actually log into the GoPro website and compare the two cameras side by side if you'd like to do that and check out the specifics. You're still getting 5.3K, 4K, and 2.7K in both cameras, but again, those higher frame rates are going to give you a little more flexibility in post-processing when you want to speed up or slow down your footage. You also now have 8 times slow motion in the Hero 10 Black in both 2.7K and 1080p. You only had 1080p before in the Hero 9. And here's a breakdown of all the frame rates between the GoPro 10 and the GoPro 9. We also have 5.3K at 60 frames per second, 4K at 120 frames per second, and 2.7K at 240 frames per second. Some people have mentioned overheating issues with this new camera, but I didn't experience any overheating issues myself. I'm obviously outdoors with the GoPro 10 and getting plenty of cooling while flying FPV, so for me, that does not appear or did not appear to be an issue. However, you may run into an overheating issue if you're indoors and just set the GoPro down on a table for an extended period of time. Again, it's just not my personal experience. I'm certain we'll continue to see some firmware updates from GoPro as the weeks and months go by as well. So let's cut to the chase. Would I recommend running out and buying the new GoPro 10 Black? Well, it depends. If you want the best performing action camera with all the higher frame rates, then the answer is an easy yes. Also, if you're using an older GoPro like the GoPro 7 or 8, then you'll certainly notice a difference jumping into the GoPro 10. But I would also say if you already own a GoPro 9, you may want to hold off until the next revision of GoPro, as the improvements are not significant enough to warrant spending $400 to $500 of your hard-earned money. It's a great camera, and because I do a lot of YouTube videos and shoot a lot of FPV footage, the GoPro 10 Black makes sense for me. As my primary action camera, I'll probably use it going forward. Okay, about the crash I mentioned earlier in this video, I did manage to hit some low-hanging tree branches while making this video. The GoPro 10 did survive without any damage whatsoever, which was a relief because I did purchase this with my own money. So lesson learned, don't fly directly into the sun during sunset. Visibility at times was near zero. When I turned a few corners, the GoPro footage is probably actually much cleaner than what I saw in the DJI FPV goggles. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell. So until next time, take care. We'll see you guys in the next video.